Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk about Monday Night Football, the end of Week 10. Can you believe it? The Los Angeles Rams head to Frisco to take on the 49ers. Stick around, we're about to get into it. Hey, and we are back. Thanks for sticking around. I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk about Monday Night Football, the end of Week 10. Can you believe it? It's shocking. I know Thanksgiving is literally right around the corner when I feel like I was just talking about Halloween being right around the corner or same day. Time is going by at such a fast clip, I can't even keep pace. That's why I write everything down, because I'd be a mess if I didn't. The Rams head to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. This one's going to be good. I know I keep saying that for every video. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This one should be. I'm looking for new adjectives to kind of explain stuff. But again, at the end, the tail end of Week 10, all these games are good. They're all meaningful. They're all important, especially this one, a clash of the NFC West. Before we get into the game, Stafford and Jimmy G and all that, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, subscribe. Look at the premium memberships. On one hand, you get $9.99 a week, or you can do $29.99 a month. And I know Mitch says it all the time, you get a $20 credit for Fantasy Cruncher. It's not just a one-time deal. Every month that you keep on with the membership, you get $20 in free money to use at Fantasy Cruncher for their premium services and their optimizers. And we go from there. And oh, by the way, the Team Rise or Fall Discord, 100% free. Bottom of the barrel, 100% free. This video you're watching right now, yeah, 100% free. So thanks for being here. I appreciate all the love and support so far, and there's still a long way to go. We're still climbing here. So let's talk about this game, shall we? Matthew Stafford, Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco, they're 28th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Stafford on FanDuel, 17 grand. DraftKings, 10,800 bucks. I have Stafford 25, 26 completions, 300 yards, piece of cake here. Well, let's see, what does he get to? 310, 320, but let's hold our horses. Stafford, 300 yards, 2-3 carries. We know Stafford, nothing special. Guy's a gamer. If he's got to get it done with his legs, he will. And 3 touchdowns. To me, maybe this is outlandish, not coming from a Detroit homerism thing, but I think Stafford, his floor tonight is 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Maybe it's 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, but we shall see. The Rams are they licking their wounds? At last time out, they got embarrassed. Stafford threw a pick 6. He fumbled inside the 5-yard line, but I would imagine the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., is it going to hurt or is it going to help? Has it re-energized these folks? But you get the Robert Woods AC. So I don't know what the heck is going on in LA. All I will say is that McVay and Stafford are prep like crazy, so they will be ready to rock here. Jimmy Garoppolo, San Francisco, hosting the Rams. Rams are stout. They're 9th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Jimmy G, 14K on FanDuel, 10 grand on DraftKings. I got Jimmy G, 22, 23 completions, 270, 260, something along those lines. And I realistically, I put him down for 1 touchdown, but that seems a little light to me given the final score that I have here. So to me, it's a 1 or 2 touchdown kind of game for Jimmy G. And we will move on. Let's talk about Darrell Henderson Jr., Rams in San Francisco, who are, looking at my notes there, does that say 32nd or 20? I think it's 22nd. San Francisco's 22nd overall against opposing running backs. Hendy, 12 grand on FanDuel, $9,200 on DraftKings. Hendy, another healthy game, healthy workload here. 15, 16 carries, 75, 80 yards, 4 or 5 receptions, tack on another 20 yards, and I have Hendy for 1 touchdown on the ground. Staple in our lineups this evening because it's volume, it's workload, and Hendy will have a ton of that. Sony Michel, I'll just glance over this one. Sony, 7 grand on FanDuel, 5 grand on DraftKings, 7, 8 carries, 1 or 2 receptions. Looking at 45, maybe 50 total yards in this one for Sony. I want to mention Eli Mitchell really quick. The Rams, they're 18th overall against opposing running backs. Eli, 11.5 on FanDuel, only 6,400 bucks on DraftKings, and I have this kid for a nice, healthy size workload, as I said for Hendy. But Eli, 18, 19. Wouldn't be shocked to see him get to 20 carries if things kind of break San Francisco's way in this one in terms of possession, ball possession here. Eli Mitchell, 18, 19 carries, 80 yards, 100 total rushing yards is within reason here, and a touchdown on the ground. I think that's simple. It is a little bit of a safe projection, but again, this game, I should have mentioned it in the opening here. As I was saying, I can't get a pulse on this game in terms of who goes where and what happens in this one. But to me, Eli Mitchell very much in play for a big day, for a big game here. Why can't Eli and Hendy both have great games, and then the final score is in an odd way? It's kind of inconsequential as long as these guys do what we expect of them. And there's points. Doesn't matter who wins the game. I would imagine Frisco fans and Rams fans would beg to differ. Jeff Wilson Jr. He's off the PUP list, but he didn't see a lot of work last week. I just don't see it again this week. However, Wilson Jr. only $1,200 on DraftKings if you want to throw kind of a dart there in salary relief. I'm looking at 2-3 carries maybe, 2-3 receptions. I really, realistically, I don't see Jeff Wilson Jr. anywhere over 40 total yards in this one. Kyle Juszczyk, crazy to mention that, but in my notes along the tab here in pencil, I wrote, will Juszczyk get 1 or 2 carries tonight for 1 or 2 touchdowns? So he'll average a touchdown per carry. Would be a wild scenario, but it's Kyle Juszczyk. We know what we get from him. Best fullback in the league. Wide receivers, won't spend a ton of time on Cooper Kupp Jr., stud, best wide receiver in the game now. I guess that's arguable, but for Monday Night Football, absolutely the best wide receiver on the field tonight. San Francisco, they're 8th overall against opposing wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, 16 grand on FanDuel. Only $12,000 on DraftKings, 12 targets, 9, maybe 10 receptions here. I think his floor is about 110, 115 total yards and a touchdown. You can take the touchdown to the bank in this one for Cooper Kupp. OBJ, I always want to call him ODB like it's, Wu-Tang. Shout out the Wu-Tang Clan here. But Odell Beckham, 10 grand on FanDuel, $7,400 on DraftKings, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 50 yards here. Again, I know a lot of folks that are going to, they're going to want to use Odell Beckham Jr. tonight, rightfully so. It's been such a whirlwind. It's been a lot of turmoil in the wake that Odell Beckham leaves here. So does he get a ton of work in this one? I don't know. He's been with the team, not even 10 days here. We'll see how they implement him into the game plan. I would imagine he'll be on the field, absolutely. I put what I say, 6-7 targets in this one for him. But how well will he get around? How well will he get down in this one? I'd prefer Van Jefferson Jr., to be honest with you. FanDuel, 8 grand, DraftKings, $5,400, 6-7 targets, maybe 5 to 6 receptions. That would be sweet. 65 to 75 yards in that margin of yardage here. And I do have Van Jefferson for a touchdown in this one. So call me crazy, but of Odell Beckham and Van Jefferson, in this night only at least, I would prefer Van Jefferson Jr. Let's talk about the Frisco wide receivers. Look no further than Deebo Samuel. Rams, very good in terms of opposed DVP, in terms of opposing wide receivers here. Deebo Samuel, 13 grand on FanDuel, 9 grand on DraftKings. I have Deebo, 9, maybe 10 targets, very nice. 5 or 6 receptions in this one, 85 to 90 yards, and we'll go from there. To me, what happens with Jalen Ramsey? What happens with this Rams secondary in terms of coverage for, let's say, Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk, who is $7,500 on FanDuel, $6,600 on DraftKings. Ayuk, 6-7 targets, 4, maybe 5 receptions, 50, 60 yards, but I do have Ayuk to score a touchdown here. And I know what I said last night in the single game video, I was absolutely wrong, and that's okay. It's a single game slate. I'm going to keep swinging and taking big chances, big shots, big risks. As Mitch always says, fortune favors the bold here. So to me, I would prefer Van Jefferson and Brandon Ayuk over Odell Beckham Jr. and Deebo Samuel in here. Briefly mention the tight ends here. Tyler HIGBEE, Frisco, they're 7th overall against defending tight ends here. With the addition of Odell Beckham Jr., and I say this as if Robert Woods was still active and he was healthy. I mean, the addition of Odell Beckham Jr. just fully, stuffs down and suppresses what Tyler HIGBEE is about and what he can do. He's already just caught a, how can I put this without stuttering through it. He's already seen a reduction in workload because the Rams offense is just always clicking on all cylinders. But tonight, I do have Tyler HIGBEE highlighted in my notes, which I'll share, obviously. But HIGBEE, he makes for a nice play this evening. $7,500 on FanDuel, only $6,200 on DraftKings. 5 targets, 4 receptions, 40, maybe 50 yards, and that's about it. If he finds the end zone, that's all gravy, icing on the cake. George Kittle, maybe, hopefully, however you want to put it, we see one of those patented, tough WWE kind of performances from Kittle this evening. The Rams, 21st overall in defending opposing tight ends. Kittle, $10,500 on FanDuel, $7,800 on DraftKings, 9 or 10 targets. Now we're talking. That you're speaking my language, or I'm speaking my own language, however it goes. Kittle, 9, 10 targets, 6, maybe 7 receptions, 75 to 85 yards in this one, and he will find the end zone. To me, what kind of touchdown reception will it be? Will it be one of those 20, 30-yard touchdowns where he's carrying half the team on his back and he gets in the end zone and he freaks out, he rips off his helmet, and that weird long mohawk? I mean, I don't know. I'm getting, a little bit over dramatic here, but it's George Kittle. And I mentioned WWE, wrestling entertainment, and that's what Kittle gives us here. And then moving on, kickers, Matt Gay, $9,500 on FanDuel, $4,200 on DraftKings. I have him making a field goal and missing a field goal, going 3 for 3 in his extra point, so not bad here. Robbie Gould, San Francisco's kicker, $9,000 on FanDuel, $4,000 on DraftKings. I have him 2 for 2 in field goals, so he's got Matt Gay beating that arena, but only 2 for 2 in extra points. So you can tell which way I'm leaning in terms of the final score and who's going to win in this one. In terms of the defenses, 49ers, I want nothing to do with. They're only $2,400 on DraftKings, 2 sacks, maybe a fumble recovery, but I do firmly believe they give up well over 28 total. I shouldn't say well over, but anywhere between 28 to 31 total points in this one. The play, if you wanted to choose a DST, would be the Rams. They're $4,600 on DraftKings. I have them just a sack party tonight. 4, maybe 5 sacks. I know that's crazy to say, but single game video. It's what I do. It's what I like to do, and here we are. 4 or 5 sacks, an interception, and around 20. I would say the point swing here is anywhere between 17 to 21 total points against here. So to me, I have the Los Angeles Rams winning this one, 28 to 20. We'll be close. We'll be exciting. And to go over my lineup, who I like this evening, let's do it. Pop up the graphics. I know folks like this. I get a lot of folks. Sometimes when I'm in a pinch and I don't have time, I don't make graphics, but I show my notes and we talk about it. But folks really like the graphics. They grab a pen and a paper, and here we go. Matthew Stafford in San Francisco tonight, $17,000 on FanDuel. Darrell Henderson Jr., Hendy, against the 22nd overall ranked San Francisco 49ers defense, $12,000 on FanDuel, $9,200 on DraftKings. Cooper KUPP, nothing crazy there. Only thing crazy is the $16,000 on FanDuel, $12,000 on DraftKings. Van Jefferson Jr., $8,000 on FanDuel, $5,400 on DraftKings, and Brandon Ayuk, FanDuel $7,500, DraftKings only $6,600. Now I gave you those 5 plays. I love that. Or you can kind of swap in and swap out. Ayuk for Tyler HIGBEE or Van Jefferson for Tyler HIGBEE. Any way you want to slice it. That's what I'm doing tonight. I appreciate the love and support. Just make sure, double check, you go to Team Rise or Fall. Join the Discord. It's all free. Hang in there all day. Share my notes and all my weird plays and my process in my brain. So go to Team Rise or Fall. Like, share, subscribe, and join the premium membership here. Look at the graphics. $9.99 a week or $29.99 a month. It's all up to you. I wish you the best. Have a good week, and let's meet again this same time for Thursday Night Football. Until then, I'm Chris Robin. Enjoy the weekend. We shall talk soon. Bye.